Good afternoon, my people. What is going on? It is your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform. Whew, I don't even, I can't, I gotta confess. So this is unprecedented for me. I am in so much pain right now. Like, just let me be fully transparent. I am in pain to the 12th power. But I'm going to push through this broadcast. I will not let the people down. So I'm going to start over because I'm having so much pain shoot up my spine right now that I forgot my own intro. It is your main ouch. It is your main man, Charles Tag Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to episode 169. Don't have regrets. But before I get into that, I got to practice the attitude of gratitude and thank each and every one of you who are here with me live as I stream across the Facebook Wealth Our Way page and the YouTube network Wealth Our Way the Wealth Our Way network page on YouTube. See, you are seeing so much uncharacteristic. Every time I come on here, I spit completely off the dome. I'm never scripted. You guys can pretty much set your clock to my opening always being the same and saying the same thing. But pain and fatigue, as the saying goes, makes cowards of us all. And I am in so much pain that my brain is not keeping on track with what I want to say. By the time I think it, before it gets to my mouth, it's changing up. I am in excruciating pain right now, but I'm working through it. I'm going to keep working through it. I have client needs that are like on stack on stack on stack. So I cannot just lay it down today and put some hot heating pads on my back. I got to grind through. So I want to continue with the Wild Nation salute to the various members of Wild Nation who watch this program overnight, over the weekends, pre-recorded, wherever they can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in. And then, of course, the heartfelt how are you to the good folks on the Life 101 platform who listen to the audio recording of this very here program. I started this week when I do my morning walk, I started to record it live on Instagram per my guy, Zach, who shout out to Zach and the whole Wealth Our Way crew with producing these great bits of information for you guys. Zach thought it'd be a great idea if just to kind of every morning when I'm doing my walk, talk about something financial. I do actually like the idea because it takes my mind off the hard work of making my walk. What I was talking about this morning was financial literacy, which you guys already know about because this is all we talk about here on the platform. I was explaining to people why financial literacy is important because the example I used is when I travel abroad and I go to areas that speak foreign languages where English is not the dominant language, excuse me. I have a hard time communicating. And a lot of times I feel taken advantage of. I was saying that I don't necessarily feel unsafe because I am, after all, Big Tank and I'm not unsafe anywhere I go. But sometimes I feel swindled. I think I've paid 3 times as much for a taxi ride in certain areas, bought goods that were priced lower than what I paid for them. And the thing that comes to my mind is I don't understand what they are talking about. In that regard, I'm illiterate to their language. With that being the case, it really brings to the forefront how important financial literacy is. I've had some conversations with some clients lately who have been given alternative advice to some advice that I provided them. And the interesting thing is because I don't sell any products, a lot of time the people who are giving my clients alternative advice are people who do sell products. And when I tell my clients they don't need a certain thing or they can get it for less over here, the other salespeople are normally rebuking that and rebutting it, telling them I don't know what I'm talking about or questioning why I would ever tell them that. It's frustrating, but I always have empathy in my heart for my clients because I realize that my financial literacy may be up here. And even though they're clients and they listen to my programs or they hear me talk once a month to them one-on-one, their financial literacy may be down here. And you're always talking to somebody who knows more about what you're trying to buy, then you know. Have you guys ever bought a brand new car? Have you ever went into a car dealership and felt as though you knew everything there was to know about what was going on in this transaction? If you have, you're better than me. My first job out of college before I got into high finance, I worked at Ford Motor Credit Company in the department that collected delinquent car notes. Right next to my department was the dealer services department. And I learned firsthand what the F&I people, finance and insurance people at dealerships are tasked with doing, the add-ons that they're tasked with selling, the markup on cars, how when you trade in your car, your trade-in value is suppressed, how they add on the interest on top of what the banks charge. If you can go to a bank, so Ford Credit may call up a bank. If they're not going directly through Ford Credit, they may call up Bank of America. And Bank of America may say they would do the car note for 5% interest. At that point in time, the dealership, and I'm sorry, I said Ford Credit, the Ford dealer called Ford Credit. They didn't want to go through Ford Credit. So they called Bank of America. Bank of America said, we'll give that person a loan for 5%. The dealership could turn around and tell you while you're sitting in your chair that they got you approved and the loan is 7%. And they're tacking on interest to a loan that you're going to get and deal with the bank. It happens all the time. Why do I bring this up? So when I was talking this morning about financial literacy and realizing the importance that some people aren't even on the same starting ground with the people they're negotiating against financially, it is a very uneasy, unsafe feeling that you get because you're constantly in a feeling that you're being taken advantage of. It got me to thinking about how that makes people avoid finances altogether. One of my clients, who's very bright, deals with finances on his own as well, he said to me when he was hearing everything that I was telling him versus everything the other group was telling him, his exact words to me were, Tank, this is why I don't like dealing with this SHIT. And I get it. He was frustrated. He felt as though both parties should have his best interest in mind. And if so, they shouldn't be giving him 180-degree different statements on the same topic. There should be some alignment. What that does is it creates a fear in people. It makes people put off to tomorrow what they should do today. Now, as you guys know, and one of the reasons I'm in pain right now is I'm always in a constant state and battle to get this weight off of me. So right now, these walks in the morning are great, but my belly is so big that every time I take a step, my stomach is pulling against my back and I'm getting back pain. It's killing me. It's hurting me from doing my second workout. But by the time I take some Aleve and put some Icy Hot on, I can get up in the morning and do the walk again. So I'm doing that because I will not put off doing the most that I can do. Now, I've gotten a lot of well wishes, and I see you guys in the comments, wishing me well, and thank you all, love you all. That say, hey, Tank, slow it down, dude. Don't hurt yourself. Don't do this. Don't do that. I am very clear on what my limits are, where I can push and not push, which is why I'm not doing the second workout. I know my body is telling me, dude, you go to LA Fitness if you want to, you're going to be in an ambulance tonight. So I'm pushing through where I can push through because I know I have no choice. It's very clear when you're dealing with your health that you have that ultimatum you give yourself. With your finances, it's not so clear. We always are in a state of putting off to tomorrow what is best for us to do today, whether it's because we think we can't afford it, whether it's because we want to enjoy ourselves more than be responsible, whether we're more concerned with today's issues than we are with our future issues, which is very, very common. What that leads itself to are regrets. And I know that from a weight standpoint, I am sitting here now as a 52-year-old male who has been overweight for his entire adult life. So 30 years, let's call it, from 22 to 52. There have been so many, quote unquote, more drastic things that I have done to try to get in shape instead of just doing the smallest little teeniest change, because time is the great equalizer. Had I set myself on a course at age 22 that didn't even look like it was a lot of effort to get in shape, right now today, I'd be charging you guys to wash your underwear on my stomach. I'd have an 8-pack. I would be in such good shape because time would have passed. This little teeny alteration in my course multiplied by 30 years would have made significant change. So now I'm looking back at that, sitting here in immense pain, saying, I have to do so much more today to catch up to what I didn't do for the past 30 years. And it's a perfect parallel to your finances. There are things that you guys are not doing right now that you know you should have done 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago. And it would have been easier to do. Maybe you're thinking about retirement now. And when I do my retirement calculation and show you how much money you need to put away, you need to put away $870 a month to retire at the number you want to retire at. But $870 a month is not in your budget. It's completely undoable. You may be able to put $500 away, but $870 is not getting done. However, had we started 15 years ago, it wouldn't have been $870. It wouldn't even been $500. It might have been $275. We've put off to tomorrow what we should have done today. Now, the reason I entitled this episode, Don't Have Regrets, is I don't want you sitting around kicking yourself, living in that reality that you didn't start when it should have been $250. You didn't start when you could afford $500. Now it's so high. Don't have that mindset. Doing anything today is better than doing nothing. There's a saying that has been attributed to Theodore Roosevelt. It says, in every situation, the best thing that we can do is the right thing. The second best thing we can do is the wrong thing. And the worst thing to do is nothing. So finances, weight loss, improving relationships, all follow that same mantra. If you cannot do the right thing, if you cannot put away $780 or $870, I forget the number I use now, that's the right thing to do. The wrong thing, so to speak, would be to put away less. But if you can afford less, put that away. The worst thing you can do is to say, I can't afford the big number, so I'm going to do nothing. Because retirement is coming. Your kids' education is coming. Needing a new car is coming. Getting somewhere to live, that is coming. These things that we have to do financially, they don't go away. Putting our head in the sand as if we were an ostrich does not make the obstacles that our life presents us go away. It just makes those obstacles bigger, badder, and meaner when you eventually meet them. Don't turn, just came to my mind. Don't turn a small opponent into a huge opponent due to your own personal inactivity. Don't create regrets. Don't put yourself in a situation where something is now harder to do because you chose not to do it when it was easier to do. So with that being said, my printer, which has been offline for the last 12 minutes, I've been trying to print something. I don't know what's going on. I think, the devil is working against me right now. I started the Wealth Walk, and all of a sudden I'm in so much pain, I feel like I'm in traction. I've been trying to print this document for 2 hours while I had nobody to talk to on the computer, and the damn printer wouldn't work. You see, I'm sitting here talking with my hands up. I'm not touching the printer. Now, all of a sudden, the 4 times I tried to print it, they all wanted to copy and come out right now to make noise while I'm doing 15 minutes of finance. Let me leave you with this. Whenever you start to do the right thing, every opponent that has ever been waiting to go into battle with you will start showing up at that point in time. Be stronger, be better, be resilient, be the best version of you can be. Have a great, great Tuesday. There is no Financial Power Hour tomorrow night. I will be back here at 12:30 Eastern on Thursday to do 15 minutes of finance. And if you want to check out the Wealth Our Way Instagram page, I'm live every morning, most days by 7:30, doing the Wealth Walk. Remember, my friends, wealth is not only for the wealthy. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to Thursday.